What if I told you one of the deadliest disasters in U.S. history was erased on purpose? In 1921, an entire black neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, known as Black Wall Street, was one of the richest communities in America. Not just Black America, America. Doctors, lawyers, newspapers, movie theaters, banks, luxury shops, circulating millions of dollars when adjusted for today. It was so successful that white residents nearby openly resented it, and all it took was one accusation, never proven, to trigger one of the most violent racial attacks this country has ever seen. A young black man was accused of assaulting a white woman in an elevator. By the next day, white mobs gathered outside the jail, demanding he be lynched. Black veterans, many just back from World War I, showed up armed, determined to protect him. Tensions exploded, shots were fired, and by nightfall, Tulsa turned into a war zone. Over the next 18 hours, white mobs, some deputized by local authorities, burned Black Wall Street to the ground. Airplanes flew overhead dropping firebombs. Yes, planes. This was the first time in U.S. history that a civilian population was bombed from the air. Homes, churches, schools, hospitals, gone. More than 1,200 buildings destroyed. Entire families were shot in the streets or burned alive in their homes. The official death toll was listed as 36, but historians now estimate 200 to 300 people were killed, and many bodies were dumped into mass graves or thrown into the Arkansas River to hide the real number. Survivors were rounded up at gunpoint and placed into internment camps, forced to carry identification tags to move freely in their own city. Insurance companies refused to pay claims, calling the massacre a riot, which conveniently voided coverage. The victims lost everything and were given nothing, and then something even more shocking happened. The city of Tulsa erased it. Newspapers removed articles. Police records vanished. Schools never taught it. For decades, survivors were threatened into silence. People who lived through it were told never to speak about it again. Imagine surviving an American war crime on American soil and being told it never happened. It wasn't until 1996, 75 years later, that Oklahoma even formed a commission to investigate. No reparations, no justice, no accountability, just acknowledgement. By then, most survivors were already dead. Here's the part they really don't like to talk about. Black Wall Street proved that Black Americans didn't fail because of lack of ambition, intelligence, or work ethic. It proved the opposite, and that made it dangerous, because if people realized prosperity was possible, even under segregation, then the entire narrative collapsed. So instead of letting it inspire the future, they buried it in the past. This wasn't just a massacre. It was an economic assassination, a warning. And the scariest part? It worked. For almost a century, most Americans had no idea this even happened. History isn't always hidden because it's forgotten. Sometimes it's hidden because it tells the truth too clearly.